apologise formally for my actions and remind you that if you donate 10 UK pounds to my PayPal with your address in the message, you can get a painting by me. They won't all look like this. This was a test one. I'll sign the back of it. It's currently blank. It's nice sometimes to be reminded of things. Okay, bye. Love you. I'm sorry, I couldn't say that without laughing. Something's wrong with me emotionally. So the definition of a conspiracy is a secret plan orchestrated by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. Or it means action of plotting or conspiring. And Google tells me these are from the Oxford Dictionary. Yeah. So on the Shane and Friends podcast, whenever he says, guys, I have a conspiracy theory, and his conspiracy theory is that they speed up Friends episodes to get in more to fit in more ad time. And this isn't a conspiracy, and it's not even a theory, because he said that Courtney Cox proved it. And I don't think you needed Courtney Cox to prove that it was true. I think you could just watch it and see that it was real. It's not like a hidden thing. You can tell when a show is sped up. And what Shane says about this, guys, it's so genius, it's scary. And then Ryland comments, it's ruthless. So on the Shane and Friends podcast, Shane says he has a conspiracy theory he wants to share with the room.
Start with is something that I just feel so gratified that I was right. I heard about Friends a long time ago, and I was right. If anybody's ever watched Friends on, reruns, especially on TV Land, I can't even watch.
What the hell is TV Land?
Everybody's voices are extra high pitch, and I don't know what it is or why.
This though, after the concert's over, no matter how great the show was, you girls are always just trying to stay away.
So that they could fit more episodes in, or maybe they could, maybe that's what they're doing. Then I was watching an interview with Courtney Cox from Friends, and she said this.
You know what? This was as good as people said.
Yeah, I except for the ones where they added an extra commercial, so they sped it up a little bit, which I can really tell. And you can tell with all characters, but oh my God, I hate my voice so much. But
that's because as far as my parents are concerned, Ross can do no wrong.
Crazy, I was right. It's to fit more commercials. That is so genius.
That is
scary.
It's so rude.
It's so genius, it's scary. This is scary. This is definitely something that I noticed whenever I was a kid, and I noticed sometimes I would watch a show and they would cut pieces out. There would just be whole scenes missing or lines of dialogue that were missing. And I was like, why the fuck would they do that? But it's because it's the middle of the day and they gotta play those daytime advertisements, which is super fucked. I feel like there should be a law against that, but I don't know. I guess it's fine to alter the content that you bought the rights to. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like TV is a scam. I'm starting this fact, not a conspiracy theory, the fact. It's actually starting to send me on a spiral of, maybe it is a conspiracy, maybe it goes all the way to the top. I need somewhere to set the phone. It was really simple to turn that Shane and Friends. That's not this podcast. Shane Dawson podcast community. Take notes. Take notes. That's how you turn a theory about. It's not a theory. That's how you turn watching television and noticing edits into a conspiracy theory. And the conspiracy theory is they're buying the rights to these TV shows to keep you watching their advertisements so they can make money on the advertisements because people pay them to air ads on the channel, and it's a giant money-making scheme. There you go. There's your conspiracy theory. I know you didn't finish it. I'm getting a phone call.
Rights to Friends, which I'm sure is expensive, and they're like, all right, we're going to really make our money's worth, so I'm just happy.
Our good friend Ryland, right on the money. The only person, I was going to say the only person with sense, but we will find out later that's not true.
That it's people make fun of me sometimes, oh, you're just making up conspiracies, oh, you're crazy. Because I had one the other day, too, that Ryland...
We're not going into the other one. We're talking about the Friends. So on the Shane Dawson podcast, this is the first theory he ever brings up. And it's not a theory, it's a fact. And it's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. I guess conspiracy is that the whatever TV land is. I've literally never heard that before in my life. The conspiracy is that they're trying to make more money through ads. If you have too many ads and you can't run them all in the length of time, like aren't these things regulated? So I just googled it, and a bunch of people on Reddit are saying that Nickelodeon also does this, like Nick at Night, which I've never seen Nick at Night. I don't think that's a thing in the UK. Just like I'm pretty sure Adult Swim wasn't a thing on Cartoon Network in the UK, and it's like a separate. It's a separate channel. So his first theory, not a conspiracy, nor is it a theory. It's just the truth. And ooh, spooky.
And we'll get into real conspiracies in a second. But Panera Bread, like the bread they give you on the side.
The bread they give you on the side.
And bad in
it goes
like
moldy
a
and bad in a day.
Rock hard. Honestly, it goes rock hard in 10 minutes. And I think they do it because they don't want you to save it and eat it later. They want you to have to buy more.
It goes all the way to the top conspiracy. Sorry, I think I'm sick or something, so I'm having a hard time talking. I don't know why it's affecting my speech. Maybe it's affecting my brain. So it goes all the way to the top conspiracy is that Panera Bread is giving you bread that's specially formulated to be inedible within the hour. So you have to buy more of their bread. It's a money-making scheme, and it's wrongful to the customers. That's his conspiracy. He never actually laid it out in that way, but don't worry, I'm here to clear it up. That's his conspiracy. And he doesn't bring it back up because they do immediately disprove it just by having a conversation, which is wonderful. It's good for them. I'm glad they can have these talks about bread. Guys, I love this podcast. Like, I'm not a hater. I'm having fun, okay?
Panera Bread to get more bread because that's what they're famous for.
So devil's advocate, just really quickly on that one, because I threw the bread away, and Sandy, my wife, was like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, well, because the shit's hard, And she's like, well, no, it's a baguette. You just heat it up. So evidently, if you just heat up the bread, it might actually do something. Whoa. And I don't know why the first thing I did when I found out wasn't tell you. But
guys, I have a conspiracy theory. Baguettes go hard. How is that a conspiracy theory? Because they give you bread and it goes hard within the hour, and you can't eat it, so you have to buy more bread. Oh, actually, you can reheat it and it goes soft again. What? Was that a conspiracy or a theory? That the side bread goes hard and moldy constantly, so you buy more bread? But then Jared's wife, Sandy, disproved it and said it's a baguette and you heat it up, it's soft. Is that a conspiracy theory, or is it just like a conversation that they had about Panera Bread?
The other night at dinner, which is weird that you asked me this out of nowhere, but you said,
what does it mean to sell your soul to the devil?
And I was like, what? Well, yeah. And you're like, well, what do they get? And how do they do it?
Stop. Okay, so like Shane, like in the past, right? Wait, turn. In the past, I've noticed he's been like very paranoid of religious karma. Like he's someone who I feel like he was raised in a religious household, and his whole life he's been scared of ghosts and demons, and he's very scared of demons coming after him. His lighting is very harsh. He's very scared of demons coming after him. So when he hears the phrase, sell your soul to the devil, he thinks of it as in like a literal sense. And during this conversation, he just cannot wrap his mind around the fact that it's a metaphor.
And what does it mean?
Not considering or anything.
So then I started thinking, I'm like, well, I believe that that's a real thing. And I know there's like, there's history of different singers or people throughout time selling their souls to the devil for fame or whatever.
What is that picture?
I think I was asking if Katy Perry did it. Why specifically Katy Perry? No, it's not a fact. I'm just asking if she did.
I don't think she did.
Yeah, but did her deal go bad?
Oh my god.
Oh.
You know, I'm a Katy Cat more than ever. I never even knew that was her fandom. In my old age, I've discovered that I actually love her right now. I don't watch American Idol, but American Idol.
This is my ignorance. I didn't even know she was on American Idol.
So, okay. So, what do you know about selling your soul to the devil, and do you think that that's a real thing that happens?
So I definitely think it's a real thing that happens. And when we talk about selling your soul to the devil,
So they always ask Jared, like he's an expert on whatever the fuck their definition of a conspiracy theory is. And he has his own channel where he does talk about theories and like aliens and stuff and like uncovering the truth. And I can't tell if Jared is actually believing what he's saying. I don't know if he's believing what he's saying or he just likes selling stuff. I don't know if he likes selling this bullshit for fun. You can tell sometimes he's like winding them up and they're like buying it, and then I can't tell where Jared stands. We know that we know that Shane, he's like he's still thinking about like the Christian devil, like selling your soul to the Christian devil. We know he has this like religious paranoia and this fear of demons, and he gets really uncomfortable during this conversation. He gets really uncomfortable when ghosts are brought up. People are like that. I know people like that. It's very common whenever you're raised in a religious household. Like, I feel for him because his brother, Jared, is saying, he says later that the devil disguises itself as a loved one. Jared, his brother, says that the devil comes into your life disguising itself as a loved one. That's the opposite of what you say to someone like this. And he knows like exactly what he's doing. And I honestly don't know where Jared stands ever. It's like he's trying to get under Shane's skin. Specifically, the devil comes into your life disguised as a loved one. I have it written in my notes. Okay. Jared, antagonist or hype man, conning for his own beliefs, yet jokes about Shane's. Does he believe what he says? It seems like it's all a joke to him, yet he keeps egging Shane on. And he has his own channel where he talks about stuff like this. So where we gotta unwrap this character.
I feel like the devil in this sense is the main evil agenda that's being put out there by the powers that be. You know, and
it's the agenda. Wait, the main evil agenda that's put out there by the powers that be. The main evil agenda. So we're talking about a conspiracy, you could say. You're talking about a theory for a conspiracy. The powers that be are scheming. And that's the devil. Okay, I guess.
The story that I think of when I hear that, selling your soul to the devil, is
I think
there's
about
a lot
Lady
of
Gaga
rappers.
and
It
Beyonce.
seems like rappers have this story. Going to parties and there being these rooms. And in order, like...
So he talks about, like, the Diddy blackmail parties. Everyone knows about that. We don't need to go through it. Look how uncomfortable he is.
You have to go into this room and you have to go through with this...
Starts bringing up an actual conspiracy theory and saying, you know... Let me bring back my harsh lighting. Being like, the devil is the powers that be. The devil is the people at the top with the evil intentions. And he starts talking about this completely other theory at the drop of a hat. And then he starts talking about radio safe, what's it called? He starts talking about how radio friendly music is the devil. Because it's part of the master plan to keep humans on a low frequency. And I sound crazy right now, but this is exactly what he says. Listen.
Ritual or the ceremony. I don't want to get into the details of what people talked about it being. The same kind of things they would use to blackmail politicians.
Okay.
Stuff of that nature.
Like give a guy a blowjob.
Yeah, stuff like that. You're pretty much a puppet. So selling your soul to the devil means being used in a way to push forth the negative and the bad agenda.
The agenda.
And really what it is just keeping humans on a low frequency. That's what they want. They don't want humans to really use their full consciousness and to really enlighten themselves. They
don't
keep
even
you bogged
have
down.
agenda.
That's why mainstream
Sorry.
music is just all the same repetitive bullshit, you know? And that's why artists, just to get on the radio, have to make certain songs that are radio friendly. Like, what does radio friendly mean? You know,
It means there's no swears in it.
You know, because like,
And so we're
Sorry. Did he say that it's mind fucking?
I mean, you know what?
That is mind fucking.
You know, because like,
and how does the opportunity even present yourself? Like, you have the idea.
They just have to see it in you. You know that you have the ability to
want this anymore. Can I get out of it?
Then you will be in a living hell, I would imagine, that they put you in through litigation.
Doesn't Shane know this? He talks about this stuff all the time.
Selling your soul
is
to
he
the devil
acting?
is just a singer-songwriter like a Bob Dylan or something like that. And then I signed to a label, and they're like, you got to sing about this from here on out. You know, like, we don't want you saying, just like anybody right now that's worried about saying certain shit, I guess. You know, but it's
censorship.
It's more agenda-driven. You know, so that's
the devil.
Selling your soul to the devil is, in my opinion, just signing a contract that says, I am at your service now. And whatever the label tells me to do, whatever my agent tells me to do. So I think a lot of people realize they sold their soul to the devil, and that's why they want to get out of the record deals.
So it's not something you can just, like, you can't just say, like, oh, I don't even want to say it out loud, but, like, if I wanted to do that, I couldn't just ask the devil for that.
Maybe you could, and it would an opportunity would present itself.
That is so scary. That is actually the scariest thing.
Because I mean, it's like the idea of manifestation. I know you're not really big into that, but it's still like if you're speaking that into an existence, like I will do what I mean.
Not big into that. I think I have crystals on me right now.
Yeah, but the devil doesn't say, "Hey, I'm the devil. You shouldn't do this." He comes in the presence of a snake, and he persuades you to eat the apple. You know, he's very persuasive. And so if they wanted to get you, they would probably bring someone into your life that was able to relate to you on a whole nother level, get really close with you, someone that you felt like, just like recruiting you for a cult. You know, they're making you feel best, almost making you distrustful of everybody else because of how much you trust them. Probably start steering you in a direction. You know, it's almost like handlers.
Oh, police.
It's like handlers and people that come into these, like...
He's like jokingly looking at Ryland, like, Ryland's this person, but I know he's freaked out.
Child people that got the contracts, and Satan sending those people out, you know? That's how I look at it.
These guys really got their wires crossed.
So it's not even a theory at this point, it's just a real thing. Possibly.
But it can also be like as simple as just signing a really bad contract, right? I mean, it's like there's a wide range of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, if those purposes, or would you rather film stuff like this? You know what I mean?
I'd rather film stuff like this.
You better not leave.
You're
gonna leave to film snuff movies?
No.
With the devil? No. Are we not enough?
I gotta go.
Or maybe they just want you to film aimless propaganda, and that's what you're using your talent with, you know?
Well, I always wondered that.
I really want to insert clips from Shane Dawson's old conspiracy theory videos that he used to post on his channel before he got cancelled. Get cancelled for saying that he jacked off on top of his cat. But he didn't get cancelled for doing blackface. Like, obviously people brought that into it later, but horrible things, and I understand, like, times were different or whatever, but I don't know, it's nice to be nice, and it doesn't seem very nice. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in a video. It's called, like, Makeup and Shane Dawson or something. I'm not getting into it now. Anyway, Jared says they don't want humans to use their full consciousness or enlighten themselves. That's why mainstream music is all the same repetitive bullshit. Because if you were listening to music that wasn't all the same repetitive bullshit, I guess you would be using your full consciousness and becoming enlightened. That's the correlation he drew there, which is a really weird... I don't know if he believes what he's saying. Jared's like a fickle guy. I don't know if he believes that the reason music on the radio, it doesn't all sound the same. I don't think radio and the music all sounds the same. I mean, it all sounds happy because it's good to keep people happy. I think turning on the radio and hearing a good song, it's enjoyable. You don't want to be exposed to sad music all the goddamn time. Or like experimental genres, you just gotta play what most people like. I would say most TV shows are kind of similar, but people don't say that that's the devil. People don't say that sitcoms are the devil because they're all similar, they all have the same, they have tropes, just like pop music does. Bro, I don't think listening to, what's not a pop music? I feel like all genres have a pop subtype. I was gonna say banjo music, but even banjo music can be poppy. But let's say you're listening to like banjo music, is that going to enlighten me? Is that going to expand my full consciousness? Jared, it's fucking weird. It's a weird thing to say. Radio-friendly music is just music that doesn't have swears in it, bro. It's not a product of the devil to make you stupid. Do you believe? Are you just trying to wind these people up? Because From this clip alone, I would say no, he definitely believes this, but given evidence, the evidence that I'm given later by watching this podcast all the time, I can tell that sometimes he doesn't believe what he's saying. It's very, very obvious. Just looking at this one piece, this is the first episode, so maybe he's not comfortable being himself or whatever, and he's trying to be serious about it and be like, yeah, radio-friendly music is a product of the devil. In order to keep the masses down, to keep you on a low, keeping humans on a low frequency, he says. Shane just wants to know if Satan's going to crawl out of his drain pipe in the middle of the night. He just wants to know where the spooky ghosts are. Bro. Oh my god, I paused it and Shane's looking right at me. That's so freaky. He's looking right into the... Can you even tell? Whoa. He's looking right into the camera. Do you think he had work done on his forehead? Do you think it's like pulled taut? Or is it just like that?